Then I'm studying to be an offensive coordinator. Let me introduce Greg.
Hi, I'm Gregor Nazon, called Greg number 48. 48 is because I played for 30 years in defense of Rams. I tried to play in offense, but it's not mine. I am actually a team manager and the defense coordinator of Rams Milano.
Hello everybody, I'm Edoardo Pollastri. Pollo is my nickname, it means chicken in Italian. And I used to be for 11 years as rock receiver, and then I moved on the other side of the football and was good safety. And I'm a team manager and I'm studying to be a quarterback assistant coach. You maybe are used to see just one person on the stage usually, but actually the invited person was our president, Fabio, that due to his personal stuff, working stuff, was not able to be here. So we just prepared a brief introduction of his person and the team, just a quick video of him.
Cari amici, bentrovati. È un piacere e un onore essere con voi oggi. Mi chiamo Fabio Rancati, sono il presidente dei Rams Milano e sono un sociologo, ho un'azienda che si occupa di riabilitazione psichiatrica ed è forse per questo che, provenendo dal football americano, essendo io un ex giocatore di linea, questo forse era l'unico mestiere che avrei potuto intraprendere dopo la mia decennale carriera nei Rams. I Rams sono una squadra che ha origine negli anni 70, è stata fondata dal mio caro amico Paolo Crosti, che da giocatore e poi presidente ha portato avanti la nostra storia per quasi 40 anni. Purtroppo recentemente ho dovuto raccogliere il testimone perché abbiamo dovuto salutare Paolo che ci ha lasciato in coincidenza con la pandemia del Covid. È stato un momento drammatico per noi, abbiamo avuto una perdita che ha segnato la storia della nostra squadra, ma soprattutto ha lasciato una profonda ferita nel cuore di tutti noi che amavamo profondamente quest'uomo che tanto ha dato per il nostro sport e insieme decidemmo di portare avanti il progetto Rams. Il progetto Rams quindi è continuato con la prima squadra che gioca in terza divisione nel campionato italiano, è proseguito poi con l'attività flag, con i giovani della nostra squadra, è proseguito così facendo affidamento sulla buona volontà di tutti quei ex giocatori che amando così profondamente la compagine bianco-verde hanno deciso di mettere a loro disposizione tempo e energie perché la squadra potesse continuare a vivere. Ecco, quindi per noi è un momento di grande gioia e di grande soddisfazione poter essere oggi qua con voi e lo dico con umiltà da una parte ma con orgoglio dall'altra di sapere che nel nostro piccolo abbiamo fatto veramente molto per portare avanti il football americano in Italia e in Europa. I miei amici e colleghi del gruppo dirigenziale dei Rams sapranno raccontarvi ulteriori storie e aneddoti delle nostre vicende. Con questo vi abbraccio, vi auguro un buon lavoro e grazie ancora per l'invito. Ciao!
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I know that it's a little bit boring, but it's the only way to bring our president to you. So let's talk about football in Italy.
No, not that one.
Shit, sorry, made a mistake. Football in Italy. I want to explain to you what is the context about football in Italy to understand where Rams are collocated in that context. So in Italy we have one federation, it's called FIDAF. It's a federation recognized for CONI, that is our Olympic committee. We have 67 active teams. This is a number of 22, so we will see in 22 what happened, but we don't know. We have 14 tournaments, and we have an average players, 30 average players per tackle team, and 50 players average per flag teams. So let's see the structure of our championship. We have two divisions, first division and second division. It is 11-man football. First division is the highest level of performance division. So we have a 9-man football. It's called Chief Nove. It's a 9-man football championship, and you can see that we have a lot of teams here, because in Italy one of the problems is to recruit guys to play football. We have Coppa Italia, that is dedicated to the rookies and under 21, and we have 3 junior tackle tournaments, so under 18, under 15, and under 12. But we have 4 senior flag tournaments. The flag is a trend that is growing a lot in Italy, as in USA, I see. So we have flag football first division and flag football second division. Here we have a fully dedicated of women championship in flag. We have also Coppa Italia dedicated to flag and senior, and we have 3 junior flag tournaments, under 17, under 15, and under 13. But we have also a blue team. It's our national team that competes in Europe, and we achieve some palmarès, some interesting palmarès. So we are 3 times European championship with a tackle football team. In 83, in 87, and in 21 against Swedish. And we are qualified for semifinals in 2023. And we are qualified for World Championship for 2025. So we will see what happens, but we have, of course, a good vibes about that. And we have also a blue team for flag, so national team for flag. And it achieved at World Games 2022. The men's took silver medal, and women's took the 6th place. We also have one team that will play this year in European League of Football. They are Sinan. It's the most performance and kind of professional team that we have in Italy, and we will see what happened this year. But let's go through the 40 years of Rams. We prepare a timeline to share with you fastly what is the 40 years of our team. So we started 78 when a group of guys, young guy, took the inspiration from the longest yard. For us in Italy, it is the only way to, understand what is the football. So they decided to open a neo team in 79, and it was called Black Devil. And the year in the 80s, so in 1 year, we found a sponsor that was Bozart that bring us into 80 because it works for a lot of years. And in 80, the team was called Bozart Rams. The real birth date of Rams Milano. The same year we win first Trofeo Brigatti. That is not like a Super Bowl, but it's a very important championship for us. And this happened in the 81 and 82. So we win 3 Trofeo Brigatti in a row. We put that, so this is the years of creation of the first federation in Italy, to understand that we are a pioneer of football in Italy, because we opened a team before the federation. In '86 we closed a team due to financial problem. In '80 there was a very big growing of football team in Italy, because in '80 we have 120 teams. So there are a lot of and a lot of teams closed in that year because due to financial services, it's not very simple to a team open. But we reopened the team in 2007. In 2020, 2014, we win the 5th Super Bowl, so a good achievement. But the real crucial year for us is 2020, because in 2020, big Paolo Crosti, that is the founder of the team, our head coach, our mentor, dies due to COVID. So we face on reality, hard reality, and we have to decide how to do. We can close the team, or we can continue that project. And we decide to continue the project. And in 2022 we won the flag Italian championship with our team under 30. So probably we made the right choice, and we will see what happened. But to go deeply to the person, go through to the person, the key people, Edo will explain to you.
Thanks. So, just a brief point. As maybe Pedro, the guy from Portugal, has said before, in Italy, together with Europe's situation, there is no structure beside the football team. So there is no high school, there is no college. The football team is an independent organization led by guys like us or like Pedro. And so the story of the team, the fact that we live through these 40 years, is just thanks to the people, the key people that made it possible. The very first guy, of course, it would be, I want to share it with you, it's Paolo. Paolo, maybe you have known him here at AFCA in this year, because the very first time he came was in the 80s. So I don't know how, because he was so bad at English, so I don't know what he understood, but for sure he brought from the US in Italy a lot. And he was our founder, he was our head coach, he was our president, he was the guy who was making and preparing the field and the sign on the field. He was the guy who was preparing the helmets for the guys. He was doing everything. He was the guy who came up on each exam of the university and high school of the guys. So it was sometimes our father, sometimes our brother, sometimes, of course, our head coach. And he put completely himself and his person to the Rams Milano. He was the guy who was taking the philosophy of the Rams Milano within his life all the days. So much that in the 80s in Milan, Italy, north part of Italy, and basically also in the other parts of Italy, but particularly in Milan, there was a very huge drug issue. Heroin was so spread, particularly in Milan. He decided to put up a program that was like, and it went viral also in the journals in the 80s in Italy. Football American was in first page on the main newspapers, saying we play without covering our arms because we are not afraid to show that we are not using heroin. We are clean, and so much that DEA gave him a prize for that to testimony his effort and his work on the drug fight with American football. The effort that he puts in the team and all the knowledge that he had of the game is mainly also thanks to all the American guys that he met in the past. But just a slide to share with you that his impact also on AFCA was so big, and with all the people of AFCA, we are thank you to say we want to say thank you to them, and we decided to put a brick in the Plaza of Influence in Waco, Texas, just to remember him and his imprinting that he gave to us and to AFCA also. But as I was mentioning before, his philosophy and the things that we know through him was also mainly brought by the guys from US. The very first person that Big met from US was Sam Rutigliano, not the very first guy he met on the street, because he was in the AFCA the NFL Coach of the Year, head coach of Cleveland Browns, and I don't know why, but he convinced him to come in Italy and to organize the very first training camp. You know, 84 in Italy, it was completely another world, considering US. We didn't know anything about American football. The only thing that Big knows about American football was just given by the film, the movie that Greg was mentioning before. So Sam Rutigliano, organizing together with the Rams Milano this first ever clinic in Italy, brought a complete new sport, a complete new idea of the game in Italy for the very first time. It was a huge event, and all the teams and all the guys that were interested in Italy came in Caspoggio, that is a very little hometown in the north. And then Big also convinced Sam Rutigliano to bring him to the, as you can see on the picture on the right, to the Cleveland Browns training camp. And in that situation, Big, that is the young guy on the right, was able to know a lot from you, from the US perspective of the game. These two big guys that are eating Paolo Prosti is Mike Lodish and Randy Beverly Jr., other two great guys that helped us to build our program and our philosophy. Just a few words on Randy Beverly Jr. He was at UCLA Bruins. He was born in the NFL basically because his father is the guy on the right. He was a free safety of the Jets and a winning Super Bowl #3. He did 2 interceptions in that Super Bowl. And he's been basically our defensive coordinator firstly, and then our head coach from 2010 up to the pandemic. And we did the first season with him after the COVID and after the death of Big. And the other guy, Mike Lodish, you may know him, he's still a Bruins, and he, together with, I think the only guy is Tom Brady, has the most number of played Super Bowl. So he played 4 Super Bowl with the Bills, losing them, and won 2 Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos. And he was the guy who came twice in Italy, so it was the very first time that someone in Italy saw 2 rings, actually also 1 ring of the Super Bowl. And he came twice to keep training camps to the team in Italy, firstly just for us, and then we had to share it also with Italian guys, and so we organized another training camp for all the teams in Italy. And we have to mention, of course, also Randy Denler, that is one of our former teammates of the 80s that now lives here in US, and the only chance to meet him is here at AFCA every year. And of course, Johnny Tusa, that is the guy who enabled the relationship between us and AFCA. So all these key people, together with other that we didn't mention here, let us build our RANS program. So our program is completely focused on what I say. Our program is completely focused on the person. This is our mission. So our mission is to forge better men, players and citizens through the sport culture of American football. And we consider it a priority that everyone works and collaborates so that each of us leaves the field better than when he entered it. And our philosophy is completely focused on the person. So of course we want to win championship. We put it as a target, so we are practicing since September every year to win a championship that lasts just like maybe 60 games. So we practice 6 months, 9 months just to play maybe 6 games, because that's our target. But our main goal is to do it so by building better men for their families, for the teammates, for their company, for the society itself. And how we do it, we follow this, that is our main mantra. So we ask the people, all the people working for the Rams or in the Rams, to ask themselves always, where did I go wrong? So to try to keep up the continuous improvement. So to always, in a winning situation and of course in a losing situation, to continue ask themselves where they did wrong. And another tool that we use is it's been created thanks to AFCA some years ago, because we had it was strange. I've seen before coming to the AFCA a video of the Admiral McRaven that you may know, the speech that he had at Texas University, I think, explaining the 10 rules that he has to change the world. It's a good video. If you didn't see it, just Google it because it's huge. And we had the chance to meet him here at the AFCA. It was brilliant, and of course Paolo wanted to adapt his decalogue to our situation, our environment. And so together also with the Admiral McRaven, we created our decalogue, and it was also signed by him. And these are some rules that we want to share with our guys to try to at least do a better world around themselves. Not changing the world completely, but just do your piece. And so some of the key phrases is this one: measure a person by the size of their heart and not by the size of their body. Look at me. Probably I would never be able to play maybe in another team except for the Milano, because this guy, when I came for the first time at the age of 14, I was, it's possible, smaller and shorter. But he gave me the chance to build myself up. And I'm here in front of you right now at the age of 28, just thanks of this philosophy. And another good phrases is this one: start singing when everything seems impossible and believe it. At the end of every game, we sing. If we're winning or losing, together with the fan outside and to the teammates on the field, we sing. Because the belief of that everything is possible if we made it with our teammates has to be always in our minds. So this is all the philosophy. Now let's see the numbers that stand behind this philosophy.
Yes, thank you, Edo. Let's talk about the economics or something like that. You have to consider something. Our macro objective is spread American football in Italy, of course. But in Italy, American football is a very expensive sport compared to other sports, like soccer, no? In Italy, there isn't any scholarship from high school, from university, nothing about that or like that. And in Italy, there isn't such a thing as professional football. So, in Italy, there are only few sponsors willing to invest in a team. So what? So, to catch new players and spread American football in Italy, it's mandatory for us to make it accessible. Make it accessible, giving to all young people the possibility to participate. How? With 3 pillars: sustainable player budget, sustainable team budget, and of course volunteering. Look, sustainable player budget. To join Rams Milano, you have to pay $250 per year, and you will receive annual subscription to the championship, sports center facility and field, insurance, helmet, shoulder pads, all pads, lateral pad, back pad, knee pads, etc. Training t-shirt, training pants, match t-shirt, match pants, match socks, all the other candies you can eat. So you receive a lot of things. Of course, our helmets are not the last model on that you can buy. Our shoulder pads have some issue, but with $250 we can give to a player the opportunity to play all championship. Sustainable team budget. Our budget to catch quarterfinals every year is $35,000 per year. It's not so much. And it's possible only thanks to people that put in their passion for free to teach the best sport in the world. All our numbers year by year are published on our website, so you can see what we spend and how. And all that is possible thanks to the person who believe in our mentality, who believe in our program, and who support us economically and with volunteering and the time. So, volunteering is like coaching for passion, because as many other football teams in Italy, our coaching staff, team management and other functions are covered by non-professional. So we teach to our players what we have learned on the field when we were players. Our only salary is the satisfaction of teaching others what we have learned, ourselves on field. Because in our life we are manager, CEO, consultant, personal trainer, here. So we can't live doing the coach because we don't earn money that we need to live. We have to have another job. So we do all the things without any salary.
So, thanks. As Greg said, the value that is brought to the team has to be valued with other things except for money. So as Greg said, and as I said before, we do not have any organization that help us. So the organization is made by people. And the people that are working for the Rams Milano, since we have to make it accessible to everybody, since our mission is to build better men through American football, we cannot say to a guy, no, you're not rich enough, you cannot play. No, you're not big enough, you cannot play. No, you can't. We have to, also in order to spread the game in a country in which there is only soccer, we have to say to everybody that they can play. If they have just 3 things. So everybody, when they call me and yes, I'm 1 meter and 80, that I don't know how much is in inches. So big guy like him, I'm strong, I'm super. But the only thing that we ask to them is the rules of this 3C that in English stands for 3B, and it's cervello, brain, cuore, beat, and balls, that is cojones in Espanol or coglioni in Italiano. So this is the receipt that we need, and we ask to the guys, putting on the field these 3 letters, these 3 words. So any coach, player, or people has their worth measured not by their resume or their experience. Of course, if a guy's come that has played to the NFL, I won't say to him, no, you cannot play because. But the real value that we gave to the people, we doesn't look to how much he is big or how much he is fast. We look at the effort that they put on the field. Because the Rams Milano, our team is made by people. And the people has to put this effort on the field in order to be considered a Rams. Everybody can come in the Rams. Not everybody can be named as a Rams. Is it sustainable? Yes. Thankfully, yes, since we are here, still here. And that's why the trick is that helping people to build themselves up, to face the life through the sport, creates this actual relationship that maybe here in US you have, because a guy has, of course, lived through the years through high school, and so he has shared some key moments with the team. He has then moved to university for the last guys, and he has shared key moments of his life with that team, and so he built a relationship to that university, to that high school, and in all the situation and movies that we see from Italy, we see that there is a huge fan base around university, around high school. In Italy, there is no high school, there is no college. We have to build it through each relationship that these guys and me have with our teammates or with our coach. And giving this to them is the same reason why we are here. We receive it from Paolo Crosti. Then lets the people to want them, they want to give it back to the team. Because there is no other reason except that Ramsey is enough, we say. And when people then at the end decide to give it back to the team. And yes, thank you. I wasn't remembering the next slide. So, since it's sustainable, we can also think about what there is the future for us.
It's only natural that to talk here about the future of the Rams is the older guy on the stage. Okay. The future. Talking about the future of the Rams, we're going to do a few years step back. In 2015, 2016, our recruiting went a bit dry. For the first time in 20 years, I guess, we didn't have a youth team. We just have a senior team. So why? There were different factors. There were other teams in Milan growing and with more financial means, with bigger organization. We talked about the Seamen before. They're from Milan too. There was a raise in other sport popularity. Besides the usual suspect, the soccer, the basketball, the rugby started to raise. The national team of rugby brought to the rugby many players. So rugby attracted more people than football. A bit of a vocational crisis. In Italy, in the first 2000s, the popularity of football started to go low. The media did not cover it as before. There were also an internal factor. In 2016, we switched the football association. Before we were in an alternative football association. We decided to join the main football association. That took a bit of adjustment for us. We had to reorganize the team, reorganize the expenses. It was more expensive. So we were on the brink of a new start. We were moving the first steps to reorganize, then COVID hit. So COVID hit in Italy was brutal. Maybe you know, in Milan it was brutal air. I don't know. And for us it was hard. We lost our charismatic leader, Paolo Crosti, in 2020, and we were left with no direction. We had our charismatic leader. His disciples had to step up. So we learned to manage the team. We took a deep breath. We picked ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and we needed to start all over again. So revise our priorities. We didn't know how to manage a team. We didn't know how to coach. We didn't know anything. Sometimes we did the right thing. Some other we did not. We did not always agree each other. We didn't always see eye to eye. There were fights. There were hugs. That we managed. Sometimes we managed. We are still here. We rebuilt our foundation, and we decided to go big. Before the 2020, our recruiting was focused on 15 years old and older, and we recruiting only for tackle. We decided no, we have to change that. Now we start with 10 years old. We are open to flag. We are open to girls. So a completely new program. On 2021, we use the usual tools. So social networking and training camps, open days. We find another tools. We found some people in schools that already teach kids, and they helped us to build a team of under 13 for flag football, boys and girls. It was the first time the Rams had such young team. And first time, first win. We won the championship on the first try. So in the last year, with an 11-0 record, perfect season, the team is still undefeated today. We will see on 2023 how it goes. With such a good start, we did okay. Keep up the good work. Go, and 2023 we will have 3 teams in the yard flag football. One, the under 13, will defend the title, and 2 teams in the under 15 will try and repeat the success. All of the teams are mixed teams, boys and girls. They all play together. Some of the champions of last year will be selected for the national team. Because in 2023 there will be a youth national European championship. So how did we did it in just 1 year? How was it possible? We like to think that someone is watching over us. Because not only we win at the first time. Last month, our association, our football association, made it mandatory to have youth teams to compete in senior championship. So from 2024, if you don't have a youth program, you can compete in the senior championship. Well, we have 3 teams. It will be a challenge for many teams. More than half the teams in Italy don't have a youth program. We have. We like to think that someone taught us well. We like to think that all the learning we did is paying. Someone taught us well. Someone who most of you, many of you knows by person, many of you knows by the stories they hear. Someone whom this speech is dedicated.
Difficile immaginare allora che quello poteva diventare questo sport. È stata veramente la realizzazione di un sogno. La differenza fondamentale tra una squadra e un gruppo è la conoscenza del obiettivo. Il soccorso delle persone che si trovano allo stesso posto, diversi diversi. Una squadra è solo una serie di persone che si trovano allo stesso posto, ovviamente tutti quanti al medesimo fine. Ovviamente uno sport che richiede molto sacrificio, ma molti però confondono il sacrificio con il rinuncia. Sacrificare vuol dire rendere sacro, per cui innalzare noi stessi in le cose in cui crediamo fermamente.
So, thank you very much for your time, and just if you have questions or if you want to be in contact with us, this is our site and our email, and we are here in these days. So, thank you.
Thank you.
We've got some time if you got questions for these guys.
Yep.
So I was just wondering, so if you guys aren't getting paid, then do you guys then have the time to work other jobs?
So if we are not paid,
Yeah.
so if we were, you mean?
Yeah. Well, like I'm just saying, like you guys aren't being paid.
Yeah.
So I was asking, like, do you guys work other jobs
Oh.
outside this, like in order to like?
Oh yes, we have to. Yeah, actually, he has a company, IT company. He's working for the
Yeah.
Piaggio, so the company made the Vespa and motorbikes, and I'm working for IT company. And so our lives in American football and to manage the Rent Milano and to practice also is beyond all our personal life or within our personal life. So yeah, we have to manage it. So sometimes we work in the weekends for the ramps, or sometimes we work for our real work in the weekends, and we do all the week working for the ramps. It depends on the period. And we practice at night, like Pedro, the coach, was saying before. So we practice just twice, unfortunately, from 10 to 10, from 8 to 10 p.m. And the youth program practice once before us on Thursday. And yeah, basically we have to manage it. We do then an additional practice once a month or twice a month on Saturday, just to also to be able to practice during daylight. But yes, that's our way of living this.
And is that the same practice schedule that you guys have in season as well? Like during the year, you guys only practice
No.
once a week? Oh, okay, so in season, you guys practice more than twice a week?
No, actually no. We change because not only of course our lives are outside of the Milano mainly concentrated, but of course also the players. We have played in the first take-home team, senior team. We have guys from 16 years old, so that go to school, high school, up to university guys, or guys working, or guys having kids and families. So we have to manage it and to do a little trade-off on their personal life and our life in Milano. We change the structure of the practices, also according to what we learned here, and we try to get the best from what you guys can do and what we can do with the things that we have. So we adapt the schedules of the practices, maybe doing more athletics from September to October, and then moving up on the pads. We have also to manage all the new rookies coming up every year, and all those guys that maybe they have a kid and then they cannot anymore because otherwise the wife is not so happy. So we have to manage players, wife of the players, and the grandmas and of the players. We have to manage all these.
And also too, I wanted to ask, like how complicated can you guys really get dramatically, like with coaching if you go to practice? Like I guess I'm more so asking like how much differently does American football look over there as opposed to like if you watch the game here?
Yeah, most of the time it's completely another word, another way of living. In fact, some of the American guys that we showed you, sometimes big, that was a very charismatic person and very fastidioso.
No.
Sometimes our coach was sometimes annoying. Yes. Sometimes American people are not so, let's say, used to manage that kind of situation in which we have to adapt with the very little things to our situation in which we have to work with. For example, our head coach, that has to be our head coach for 10 years, Randy Beverly Jr., he was used to teach to American guys. So his way of teaching a drill sometimes was too easy for him, or it was given by that the guy listening or seeing the drill 2 times that he was able to do it consistently. Instead, the real life and where Big was able to work, Paolo Rossi was able to get into his way of teaching, is that we have to deal with these guys that have just seen only round balls, and they know that if you do like this with the ball will come up. So we have to teach also them that if you do like this with the ball will go everywhere. And so there was a very good balance between American football person and our Italian way of seeing it. And doing it, a mix of it, we think that it was the best, because we were able to get the best from each other.
All right. We got one last question, and we're going to transition.
Yeah.
Hi. What are the challenges that you face when you open to girls flag football?
For now, I must say, it has been easy. under 13, so they are 13, 14 now. At this age, on the field, there are no differences between boys and girls. Maybe when they grow old, 16, 17, we'll see. we started from scratch and started with under 13. So, you know, middle school. So, I must say, for now, I haven't seen such a challenge. We are lucky because their coach, their flag football coach, is also their teacher in school. Their
Gymnastics.
fitness teacher in school. So he already knows how to manage the boys and girls together. So for now we have been lucky. I don't know. Sorry, I can't answer.
When we're done, you might visit with Pedro, because I know there were some women that came to Camp Gridiron those years, participated in all of the drills, and I remember we did a mini game. It was like a 5-on-5 or something like that. You might visit with Pedro at the break.
One thing I must say, is that in fact football, of course, 13 years old, want to try table football. The most eager to try are the girls. The girls are the most ready to play table football. I don't know why, but it caught out by surprise. This.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Very much.